And Air Canada 856, we're ready for a vector.
Canada 856, thanks. To the left heading 150 degrees.
Left heading 150, Air Canada 856. Severe turbulence on final.
Speedbird 72, runway 27 left, clear to land, surface wind is 230 degrees at 29, gusting 40 knots.
Clear land 27 left, Speedbird 72.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video on the channel. How are we all doing today? Hope you are all well, and welcome to a different video. We're in a Cessna 172 Skyhawk by A2A Simulations, and we're at Southampton Airport, flying to Shoreham in the south of England. And look at that, it's a Gulfstream, I think. I'm gonna guess it is. I do feel a little bit out of place. Is it just me, a little tiny Cessna next to a Gulfstream, and what I think is a King Air, with someone cleaning it? How cool is that? I know. It is raining, but that shan't stop us. We are going to be flying in VFR in inverted commas. We will legally be able to see the ground throughout the whole flight, so therefore we are still VFR, I believe, I think. If I'm wrong, correct me. So, checklist, because A2A are brilliant at this. They give you checklists to follow. How cool is that? So, airplane weight and balance was checked. We're flying half tanks today. Didn't see the point of flying really heavy. Parking brake is set, and control wheel lock can go away because we want to move it. Master switch can come on. Fuel quantity, as I said, is checked. Static pressure valve is off. Annunciator panel test switch is tested, and everything is illuminated that we would expect to be illuminated. So, what else have we got? Fuel selector valve is not on both. It is now. Fuel shutoff valve can come in. Flaps can come down. And master switch can come off. Flaps are actually coming down simultaneously at the same time, because we know what happens if they don't. So, switch that off, and that is done. Next page, engines starting. Throttle is cracked, and we have full and free movement as well. Mixture is idle, which we also have full and free movement. Master switch can come on again. Beacon, and I'll switch the landing lights on too, because it's raining and we need to be seen. So we have a cold engine, so we're not going to skip. Auxiliary fuel pump can come on. Now we can increase the mixture for 5 seconds, and out. There we go. Turn the fuel pump off, and we do have a clear propeller area. I don't think that guy's going to move, so we can release the parking brake but keep our feet on the brakes and pull the ignition. Fantastic, bringing the RPM up to 1000 RPM so that we don't lose it. Oil pressure and temperatures. The pressure's coming up into the green, the temperature won't rise for a little while. Navigation lights, we'll have those on too, and the strobes. And the taxi light, because it's pretty low visibility. Avionics can come on. And radios are on. Flaps can come up. Fantastic. Volts, the ammeter can come on too. Before takeoff, we'll do that later. So, bring the throttles back down and we'll just see whether things die yet. The brakes work. Just look at that. There goes the light. How cool is that? So it is raining. It is overcast at I believe it's 600 feet, which is rather strange, but oh well. So let's get taxiing to a runway of choice without hitting. That's key. Without hitting the Gulfstream, because that could be bad. As I mentioned, we're flying to Shoreham, which is also on the south coast of England. We came pretty close to the jet. That could have been bad for our piloting careers. like the views I've set up. It's pretty cool, isn't it? I'm praying we haven't hit that. No, we haven't. Not quite. Oh, we came close. How close are we? If I was the owner of this jet, I would be very scared that someone had just nearly hit my very expensive thing. I think we're taxiing the wrong way, but oh well. So, I do like this scenery. Is it just me that likes it a lot? So that's probably not a taxiway, but we're using it anyway. So, we are steaming up. So, my way of fixing that is to open the windows. I don't know whether that's the correct way of doing it, but because AccuSim is so good and A2A Simulations is fantastic, it models sound differences too, which is so cool, isn't it? So, there's so many people. I think this is what makes that scenery so good, is that there's just so many people that are actually in this. So, taxiing down to the end of the runway, I believe. Let's keep going, keep going. So, while we do that, let's do the GPS, because yes, we're going to cheat and we're going to use the GPS. I'm sorry. So, it's EGKA. Oh, it didn't like that, did it? But enter, enter again. And that's that. It's going to take us 11 hours at this time. It's 41 miles away. It's not too bad. We're not going to go direct. Do not fear. So, going to switch that to GPS mode, because you know how it is. Just look at that scenery. You will be seeing more videos from Southampton actually, because I'll probably be flying an Airbus out of here very soon. So that is something to look forward to. Although I do have to send this laptop back to Chill Blast on Thursday, so do expect some videos before then, because you never know, I might not be able to do any more. And obviously if you are enjoying this, then please don't forget to subscribe. So we'll just set the altimeter, because I'm just going to cheat and press B. I'll tell you what the QNH is, because you might be curious. The METAR is telling me the QNH today is 1004. It's windy and it is very wet. We have 13 knot winds and 17 knot winds at Shoreham, with overcast at 400 feet again, and it's raining still. So we need to find a run-up area. I'm not sure there is one on this end of the runway, but we shall see. Oh, well, there isn't, I believe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this little path area to turn into the wind, so that this is an air-cooled engine, so it requires you to be facing into the wind. So let's do this. Before takeoff checklist, I'm going to put the parking brake on for this, because I don't want to hold the brakes all the time. So, seatbelts, well, I don't think we have any. Oh, they're up there, clearly not wearing it. Flight controls, full and free movement. There we go, we'll just test that. Yeah, full and free. Flight instrument checked and set. The altimeter is set on 1004. The directional indicator is also set, and the GPS is checked. Fuel quantity, as I said, we have half tanks. Mixture is rich. Fuel selector valve is also on both. Throttles 1800 RPM. Let's do this then. There we go. Mags. We have a drop and a drop. Back to both. Onto the left. Back to both. Throttle idle. It's got an idle between 600 and 700, I believe. And there it is at 600. Back to 1000. Radios and lights are set. Just for principle, we're not on VATSIM. but just because I like to do it every single flight so I don't forget when I actually am on that sim. 122.8, squawking 7,000. And we'll put that altimeter. At least I think I put it on altimeter. Yep, there we go. We shall use this as a timer and put the throttle back down so I don't run out of fuel. Flaps we don't need. Take off. So we're ready to go. We'll do a clearing turn just to check no one's decided, no AI traffic has just decided to try and kill me. So it is looking pretty good up there. Look at that turning circle. Imagine trying to do that in an Airbus. That is pretty much impossible. Cool, we are ready to go actually. So we're departing out to, I believe out to the south, possibly, bear with. And then we turn right towards Southampton. In fact no, we're departing to the north. We're gonna backtrack actually. Do you know what, I think there was actually a run-up area at the end of this runway. Because I'm silly, I didn't notice. Oh well. Let's go outside and marvel at this design. It is beautiful. Wow, it's shaky! It is raining. You can definitely tell that. What is with this camera? It must be really shaky. So, that's what the run-up area is over there. Or the turning circle. So we're going to use it. We don't need to do a run-up. Just so you don't die of hearing this. I nearly forgot to close the door actually. The window, same thing. So we'll do that. So let's turn around, which we've done. I'm just going to turn it up so you can hear it, because I fear that you won't be able to hear it very well. Okay, we are ready to go. It's a right turn out. Let's go. So, power is set, temperatures and pressures are okay. Speed is coming alive. 40 knots. 55, 60, let's go. So, we're aiming for around about 67 knots on the rotation. And there goes Southampton, goodbye. 67 knots, that means pitching up a little bit more. So there we go, that's 67. 500 feet, reduce speed, there we go. We can start the right hand turn. Remember, only 15 degrees during a climbing turn, otherwise we lose too much speed. Still trying to maintain 67 knots on the way up. We're going to be climbing above this crap because there's a lot of it. So, as I said, we're heading in the general direction of Shoreham. I'm not going to head directly there. I was thinking if we head a little bit more out towards the coast. There's Shoreham off to our right hand side. Cool, cool. So, still climbing. I think we're drifting. I'm not sure which direction the wind is going. Okay, so coming up on 1,500 feet. I'm just going to be climbing until we get above it. Really, is it just me or is there a sense that we're flying sideways? I think we are. It's probably the wind. Okay, keep climbing. Let's go. I think we are. Oh well. Let's keep going. I think we'll climb up to around about 4,000 feet. going to take us around about half an hour to get there. Obviously, I will condense this, so you don't have to sit and watch it all. That would be rather boring. Now, I know there's lots of experts about general aviation flying, so I don't want to cause any arguments. So I'm just going to fly it how I would fly it in real life, which is what I'm doing right now. So still making that climb. I'm maintaining around about 70 knots for the climb now. And we're just coming up on 2,500 feet, which is good. We're in what's called a cruise climb at the moment. So I'm just increasing the speed by lowering the climb rate, just so that we can try and get maximum distance as well as climb rate as well. I'm still hand flying this myself, although I would say that this isn't quite legal. It could possibly be on the bounds, but technically we can still see the ground. There's not any clouds obstructing our view very much. So we'll just continue on the climb up to around about 4,000 feet, and ahead of us I can actually see clouds. These look to be quite tall, so I'm not sure what we're flying into, but I'm going to guess it's not going to be very good, and we might need to resort to instruments, which in this case would be illegal if we're trying to fly VFR. Technically we are still flying VFR. If it was in real life I wouldn't fly today, but just to make it interesting I did. I mean, this model just looks fantastic, doesn't it? So, still climbing, about 80, 90 knots, whatever, doesn't really matter very much. Just continue the slight right-hand turn just so we don't intersect that course too much. And then, once we get to 4,000 feet, I'll engage altitude hold, and we'll just stay at 4,000. So, just coming up on that, it's power, attitude, trim, or in this case it's attitude, power, trim. So, attitude, speed rises, bringing the power back to around about 2100 RPM, and trimming appropriately. Okie dokie, that looks about right. We're still descending slightly. So, I am going to just reach down to try and do this. So, oh, this is not good. Whoa, crazy. So, let's bring the altitude up to 4,000, 5,000. We're at 4. Yeah, we're at 4,000. I can't read. This is not working. Do you know trimming in the sim is so difficult? So, altitude. Autopilot. It's going to try and maintain the altitude. He says, hopefully. Does anyone actually know how to do this? I believe that it's not actually doing very much. So, yeah, that's not doing very much. We'll do it ourselves then. So, let's turn a little bit more on course. And we're just flying at any altitude now, quite apparently. Ooh, that was a harsh turn. So, bringing the power back a little bit. Okay, apparently it's trying to hold that. Not doing a very good job. Oh, there we go. Bringing the power back to 2100 RPM. Okay, good. So, it is now doing what it's meant to be doing. Currently been flying for around about 9 minutes or so. We'll put that on as well, so it will try and maintain that. But as for the video, there's not much left of it until we get to our descent point. So we'll see you then. we are going to commence the descent now actually, so 1500 RPM. As we can see, the weather has got much worse since we last saw it. So we are going to be relying heavily on that GPS and instruments to try and get safely on the ground. The coast is actually just off to the right hand side. There's the sea, yay, and there's the land. So we are going rather fast. We're going to be doing something called an overhead join for the active runway once we see it, obviously. There's a golf course off to our left hand side. It's just kind of told me that it wasn't a very good idea to fly right now, was it? So yeah, we are going rather fast, so let's pitch up a little bit. The wind is slightly faster actually at Southend. When I say slightly, I mean quite a lot. Oh, there goes some wind. It was very not good. So, we're going to stay at 2,000 feet actually. We're going to break the rules. We're going to go down to 1,000. 1,000 feet. Usually an overhead join is conducted at 2,000 feet, and what you'd do is you'd circle round and you descend dead side of the runway and then cross over onto the active side and do a circuit. But because of the weather, we're going to not do that. We're going to not descend dead side, but we're still going to fly on the dead side and then cross over onto the active. I believe they're the PAPI lights for the airport, but you never know because it's such good weather. It's perfect weather for flying, isn't it? This is definitely IFR. So the airport is here, and yes, I can hardly see it, I know. It's down there somewhere. So going to cross over and then start our turn. This is going to be a very loose circuit, as you'll probably find out. It's very windy. Wind is a key factor to this right now. So the airport is down there. That runway over there is the one we're going to be flying on. So I need to turn all the way around. And the airport is still over there. So the active runway is just underneath us here, and we shall descend in inverted commas as we fly dead side, which is here. There it is, runway 20. So we turn downwind, or dead side downwind. There we go, and we'll cross over the other end. So there we go. I can see the airport and I can see the runway. How good is that? So flaps back to 1500 RPM, and the flaps can come down to 2 stages because we kind of need flaps to slow us down. It's over there. Flaps can come back to 3 as well. It's going to be a pretty quick, sharp descent, but oh well. So, just starting that turn. Just getting that descent rate down as well. Speed's a little high actually, so it's a long runway, so it shouldn't really matter too much. Aiming for the numbers, but realising we're not actually going to make the numbers. Although we might. Speed is good. And just pulling up. Nose to the horizon. And blocking it down on the ground. at some crazy speeds. So, not too bad, not too bad. Could have been better. In fact, could have been a lot better. Lost the airport there, didn't we? So, just taxiing to the end. I think there's a pull-off point right at the end of this one. Overall, not too bad. Could have been much better. Flaps can come up now. Yeah, there is a pull-off point right here. Yeah, not too bad at all, not too bad. Although, it could have been better. So that was general aviation. General aviation in the Cessna 172 Skyhawk. Flying from Southampton all the way up to Shoreham. It will taxi all the way up here as well. That noise never brings confidence. It's like the sound of tyres. I don't think this is a gate. This is actually a run-up area that I've just taxied onto. Oh well. That's not even a gate either. Shows how much I know about Shoreham. By the looks of it, quite a lot. Yeah, of course. I just love taxiing around. Cool. So, I'll just keep taxiing, keep taxiing. So. There's a helicopter over there. I can't imagine where that flight model's been taken from. Wow, it looks so similar. We are starting to steam up actually, so as my classic technique of just opening the windows always works, never fails to work. We'll just taxi onto this apron with all the other aircraft and try not to crash into that Cessna which is parked so conveniently at the entrance. I mean, what kind of idiot parks something right there? Wow. Okay, so there's no parking spaces there. Just totally destroy the rules of the air, but you know what? We'll cheat and we will just taxi up here and turn around. I don't think he meant to park here, and I've probably just clipped his wing as well, but oh well. Oh no, it's much more spacing than I thought. Just roll forward slightly. Fantastic. Brakes can come on. Cool. Let's go inside the cockpit and shut down with the shutdown checklist, which there isn't one. Landing, here we go. Cool. So, just put the power up to 1000 RPM, or 1500. Just do a mags check, just before we shut down the engine. Bring the power back to idle, flaps are up. Engine shutdown, masters off, key off and out, avionics can come off, the lights can come off too, and fuel shut off switch off. So that was a short flight from Southampton all the way to Shoreham in this, the Cessna 172 Skyhawk by A2A Simulations. Thank you very much for joining us in this video, and we do hope you choose to subscribe. That would be great, and we'll catch you next time.